Ah. 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 You like the intro? I love it. It took me like 8 hours to put the fucking thing together because I was just kind of brainstorming different stuff. I used GarageBand to do this. That's in stereo, is why I like it. You running recording yet?
Yeah, I've been recording.
All right.
Jake Ayers Experience.
So, I'm ready when you are.
We're rolling.
The Jake Ayers is back with a whole new experience. And I have one of my oldest friends, Chris Pack, here with me today that I have known since kindergarten.
You're older than me. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, you were still in the same class.
No, it's preschool. It wasn't kindergarten.
It was kindergarten.
No, we met in preschool.
I don't remember
At
that.
that fucking, before kindergarten, like the Baptist church. Because I remember I didn't like applesauce when I was 3 years old, and they're like, "Oh, I'll try it." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I actually like it."
I don't remember that one. I just remember you throwing up the chocolate pudding all over.
When was
In
that?
kindergarten, you eat a bunch of chocolate pudding and then vomited, and the chocolate pudding actually washed the wrapper.
Wouldn't you say there's like a chocolate waterfall?
Yeah, it's like a chocolate waterfall. Like that's my earliest memory of Chris Pack is eating a bunch of chocolate pudding, getting the last spoon in his mouth, and then throwing it all up, and it washed the little wrapper it came in or whatever you want to call it over the edge of the table into the floor. It was Miss Maneri and Miss Nestor in 1991.
Nestor or Easter?
Nestor.
That's the older substitute teacher,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I always found her mildly attractive. Even when I was 5 years old, I've been a pervert long before that.
Who was the one teacher that went away one summer and then came back Holder?
Oh yeah, that was Coach Holder's wife.
Yeah, but we didn't know who he was at the time.
No, we didn't know. We didn't find out till high school who he was. Found out. Woo! Found out a lot about him.
Yeah!
Come in closer. I want this mic to pick it all up.
That should.
Now.
Where's the... On here?
Yeah, right here.
Right.
One day I'll invest in a good mic. So what have you been up to lately?
Shooting photos, filming video, not editing the video, sleeping 3 hours on the couch each night, going in like 4 o'clock in the morning and lifting 100-pound boxes for like 5 hours, riding a bike everywhere because there's fucking student loans, and apparently if you have student loans, you can't get a fucking car.
Yeah, student loans suck.
So
It's fucking horrible. I've got a little bit, but it's enough to plague me.
I got it's over 60,000.
Yeah, that's over 6 times what I owe. But you're an artiste.
Yeah.
You're an artiste. Tell us about your art. It's unique to you. I feel like there's some anger in there sometimes.
Maybe.
It's beautiful art, but it's also scary. It's angry. I like the layer. Like, what was that like kind of art you do where it's layers of art, like layers of.
Basically, I guess you're talking about like the mixed media pieces.
Yeah, you'll paint a layer. It looks pretty cool, and then you'll do another layer over top of that, and it's like unless you see a time lapse of it, you never know what's underneath.
Yeah. Well, luckily I record time lapse now.
Yeah.
Of it, but like I started that as my thesis in school about the Iraq War and my experience and all that, and try to like have a visual vomit, I guess, on like this huge. Because I did it, and it's like it ended up being like 8 foot tall by like 24 foot wide. It's just like because now I work on smaller pieces where I'll do something, then I'll rotate, and I'll work, and I'll like kind of paint over stuff and like pull stuff out from the background, so it's collage and like decollage, they call it.
That big piece that you just referenced, was that the one you sold at a bar or took up to a bar to sell?
I took up to a bar. I didn't sell it. They were wanting to show it up there.
I remember the...
Because I guess somebody came by and they wanted to put it in like a Veterans Memorial Museum.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
It's the one they just they're in the process of building right now, or maybe they just finished in Columbus.
It's interesting because your artist statement includes what a psychologist told you.
Yeah, so basically because I got out of the military.
Marine Corps.
Yeah, Marine Corps. And originally I was just going to go into the police, like law enforcement, because that's what most closely tied skills-wise to my job. Then I realized I don't want to fucking deal with people. And I didn't want like the shift work. So I took I was trying to get into a music appreciation class, and I couldn't get into it, so I had to take an art appreciation class. I took that. Then I had the teacher I had was like, oh yeah, this one guy like draws with gold, and he sells them for like $35,000. I'm like, sold. I want to make a ton of money, but where am I going with this?
Probably back to the artist statement with your psychologist.
Yeah. So I'm doing that. Then I figured I want to start doing arts. I'm like, oh, I don't really need to do this anymore. So I go and get my disability put in to the VA because I wasn't I realized I had stuff that was issues with me, but I didn't want to bring it up for if you get in law enforcement, they may not do it. So I didn't really need to do that anymore. So I put that in, and because you go through, I had 30 X-rays done in one day when they're X-raying everything.
Shit, son.
Which I heard is not a good thing for
Probably
you.
not. I'm surprised you're not the Incredible Hulk.
And,
God.
But for the mental, the mental evaluation, I talked to a psychologist for 3 hours, something like that. Then after talking, he said something he's like, you're not crazy, you're just fucked up. And that was kind of that was the headline of the whole series.
Well, I mean, being fucked up is better than being crazy.
Yeah.
Because crazy people don't know they're crazy. We're all a little fucked up. You don't have to disclose anything you don't want to, but what made him say that? You just go over the stuff you saw in war, or?
Yeah. Because I remember one, he's like, you see any dead bodies? I'm like, I've seen parts of dead bodies. Does that count?
Was it IED, aftermath of IEDs?
Yeah, some guy, some dumbass tried blowing himself up to kill us too, and all he did was pop a front tire on the truck and because he had explosives in the car, so he's trying to ram it into our little setup base or whatever. So he blew himself up and he killed himself because we were cleaning it up. It was there's his arms laying there. There's part of his scalp with some hair laying there, and there's burnt flesh and stuff.
Where was it? Fallujah?
I think it was north of Fallujah, Sacagawea or Sacagawea. I can't remember which one it is. What it's called.
Damn.
Fun times, you guys. Fun times.
Oh yeah. At least you turned into something positive. And you went to, I'm assuming it was probably a liberal arts school. It just attracts liberals.
It's college. It's the Columbus College of Art and Design, which there is. Oh, here's the funny thing now. This whole super liberal thing has become an issue. Very intensely within the last 2 years, but it wasn't something that was really an issue when I graduated 5 years ago. Because I just applied for an art fair show there. And then you filling out your name, your address, uploading pictures of your thing. And there's one of them was what's your preferred pronoun? I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, are you serious?
It's ridiculous.
After the thought, I wish I would have put a attack helicopter. But in it, I put I'm a guy.
You're a fucking man.
Yeah.
You don't live in a freaking fairy tale.
Yeah.
It's just so trendy and so destructive to Western culture.
Well, here's the thing. If you want to be transgender, you can do what you want to. You just can't push your non-scientific ideology on other people and force them. You can't force their speech.
I agree 100%. You have the freedom to live that lifestyle, but some of the people that claim to be tolerant are the most intolerant bunch I have ever dealt with. Ever. You have to believe the way they are or the way they believe, or else you're just a xenophobe, Nazi, bigot, racist, whatever term that at that point they've lost an argument.
It's funny because whether you, it's not necessarily all Democrat, but the left, instead of the leftists or whatever, you have to think how we think, do what I say, or you're a Nazi. I'm don't you see the fucking irony?
They don't see it. That's how buried in their ideology they are. The left is not liberal. It's not liberal. There's liberalism, and then there's the left, which is essentially communism. And the liberals today, which are not true liberals, they've become authoritarians. You cannot be a liberal if you're an authoritarian. You're essentially telling people how to live their lives while preaching tolerance, which essentially you're trying to destroy people to conform into your beliefs. And the conservatives are more liberal now than the so-called liberals. It's ridiculous. So, like, I do not associate with modern day liberalism. I'm a registered libertarian, conservative leaning, but I believe if you want to live your life as gay, bi, transgender, whatever, it's your lifestyle. You have the freedom to do it. You cannot force someone else to accept that. And if they say something that's not necessarily nice, I'm not saying advocating violence towards someone, because there's laws against that, but it's people's free speech and their freedom to say they disagree with it or that it's just downright bizarre. If you do something weird and somebody reacts to it, well, that's, the consequence you get for choosing that lifestyle. You can't force people to accept your way, and it's a minority group that's forcing everything down people's throat.
Because growing up, I wouldn't say I was Republican. I'm not 100% sure I want to say now just because some of the Republicans in there, but like I remember like growing up, like there's the issue I had was like the super Puritan, it's like the Christian conservatives,
right?
Like, they would like want to push, like they're supposed to be Republican, but they're like wanting to push their ideologies through like restricting video games and all this stuff. But
exactly,
like,
and that's why I'm not a Republican.
I think that's gone away, and especially since the gay marriage isn't like an issue with like them anymore. There's like I noticed there's like there's a surgence or like an uprising, if you want to say, of like gay Republicans.
Well, it's destroying identity politics, and Republicans are not necessarily. A lot of them are not conservatives. They have their version of big government, so it's like a Democrat, but it's just a Republican version of big government. Bush Jr. was not a conservative. He tripled the size of the federal government, so you could say he's a neoconservative, a Republican, but he's not like your regular conservative. And of course, Obama just extended on that. So, I mean, Obama was like basically socialist, or he wanted America to become a socialist nation, and so that's why we have these issues today, where you got what is her name running around up there in New York? I can't even think of it right now. The crazy eyes.
Cortez.
Yeah, she's insane. She's insane, man. She's insane, and like Sanders supporters. Sanders is all like, I don't like capitalism. I'm a democratic socialist, which is essentially a socialist. They're like, no, they just didn't have it right. We got our own version of it. But
what they were saying, what was it? It's Venezuela, because they were like using Venezuela like years ago. Then now they're like, oh no, they don't. Dude,
there's nothing to eat there but cleaning supplies. Like literally, cleaning supplies is all that's left to eat in Venezuela. And people are living on they got whole families living on 8 ounces of chicken a week. It's ridiculous. They're eating their dogs. So it's just, I believe a well-regulated capitalist free market society is the best. It's the only type of government that will allow you to make the most of yourself. It rewards hard work. If you want to be a socialist, to lay around. And that's why all these beta cuck soy boys love that, because they just don't have that oomph. They ain't got it, man. They should have been born a woman. Women have more oomph than a lot of them dudes, man. They're just a bunch of pussies that don't want to work hard and want to complain about everything and want everything handed to them. So
it was funny. Like I was driving down here, I was thinking like PC culture, like pussies confirmed culture.
I'm not going to do it. The pushback on it is going to overwhelm it. Telling somebody they can't say something or can't do something is going to increase it. You're going to see it everywhere, especially in America. It's our spirit. You tell somebody in America they can't do something, especially something socially, you're about to see it everywhere. So it's just insane. Didn't you say you were in college? And I don't want to reference this incorrectly, but I remember you telling me this. You had told the class one time you served in the military, and some girl made some comment about it or something, or you had painted a picture. It was like somebody being wounded in war or something, and some of them didn't. It seemed like you had told me that years ago, but I can't remember.
Well,
some of them's anti-military, I imagine. It seemed like you had told me that one of them, you told someone.
Well, I was painting a thing one time, and I remember somebody's asking I think a girl's asking how hot it got over there. I'm like, oh, it's 140 degrees during August.
Yeah.
She just kind of walked away. I can't really. I mean, there were some people. I guess when I was doing that big war art piece, I remember one of the teachers saying "Oh, we probably wouldn't approve this if you hadn't actually been to war." I'm like, I wouldn't have done it if I hadn't actually been. Because I guess there were people that had issues with it.
Oh my God, the left is insane.
There's like one guy, like I just talked to him, like I went to school with. I talked to him like 2 years ago. He's like, oh yeah, there's some people that thought like you was going to like shoot up the school because of your art.
Well, I mean, they would, based on interactions, I don't know what you were saying, do it at that time. But people probably thought the same thing about me. But the fact that the teacher would say you're not allowed to depict violence, realistic violence, so they're an authoritarian on what is art, on what is allowed. But yet, it's just insane. I mean, in the left, I hate to go on a political rant, but I mean, why in the world would a bunch of liberals protest free speech? That's how manipulated they are. At UCLA, Berkeley, not allowing conservatives to speak there, which back in the 60s, free speech was championed there. They loved it. And now they're telling people they can't say something.
Well, I think it's a bunch of college kids that don't really know what's going on.
They don't.
They have a couple, like, higher up, maybe, like, thought leaders, like, in the left are, like, pushing this certain... I mean, if you call, like, Ben Shapiro, like, a Nazi, I mean...
And he's freaking Jewish.
Yeah.
Whether you like Ben or not, he's not a Nazi. I love Ben. I don't agree with him on everything. And he's not a... He's a conservative that sticks it to President Trump pretty hard when Trump deserves it. So, I mean, you have to be that way.
Because he said he wasn't going to vote because he didn't believe...
Right. But he does defend Trump when it's fair, and he criticizes the hell out of Trump when it's fair.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go on a Trump tangent, but it's Obama, it's the left that created this cult of personality that backlashed against the PC culture, the liberalism, constantly oppressing the working man, the people who built the nation. It's these pseudo-intellectual type that are nothing more than a bunch of neo-Marxists fulfilling a communist manifesto that want to push their bullshit on us.
Because I remember, like, I've listened to, like, Mike Rowe that did, like, he's the host of, like, Dirty Jobs.
Yeah.
Because he's talking about there's, like, the way they're, I guess, displayed in, like, media and movies, like, was it blue-collar jobs that, like, the plumbers, electricians, all this stuff, they're, like, in high demand, they make good money.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily need a college degree, maybe, like, a technical college or apprenticeship.
Right.
But he's saying the way they're portrayed in, like, in the media and, like, TV shows and, movies and all this stuff, they're portrayed as like this dumb guy with his like ass crack hanging out.
Yeah, that's just part of the demonization of hard work and American culture, and it also connects with demonizing the founding principles of the United States. So a generation or a society that will not defend the founding principles of a nation is ultimately doomed. So demonizing American culture, Western civilization, our founding fathers, all that stuff. Yeah, turning people on that. If you're not willing to defend it, all these soy boys today with low testosterone and stuff, virtue signaling, and that's why a lot of these so-called male feminists, it's virtue signaling. And for those that don't know what virtue signaling is, it's a bunch of weak men, primarily weak men, who think, and they may not even know this consciously, but subconsciously, what they're doing is they have no chance with a woman. Period. Their genetics is going to die when they take their last breath. So if they can associate themselves with a feminist group that gets them around women, they use that kind of as a segue to possibly pass on their genes. And this is evolutionary psychology. They're trying their best. They're beta males. They try to seek approval. Alpha male don't give a fuck who he pisses off. Kind of like Trump. He don't give a fuck. He does not give a fuck. And he's going to keep winning because he don't give a fuck for those people that constantly apologize, like Obama. Fucking apologize for us bombing Japan after World War II. Yeah. And then fuck that shit. And so you've got a bunch of virtue signaling beta cucks who are essentially doomed. They're the end of their family line if they don't possibly pass on their genetics. So they try to say, oh, I'm a feminist. Oh, yeah, girl power. Oh, down with the patriarchy. So you got guys like that they act like they're pro-feminist, but the truth is the reason why they're saying that is so they can mingle around women and hopefully increase their chance of producing offspring. And you know what? Statistically, most of those guys still don't get laid. It's the old asshole douchebag bouncer with tattoos, muscles, and gauged out earrings down at the bar that's fucking those so-called feminist women who hate the patriarchy and hate douchebags. The douchebags they claim they hate are the ones fucking them. I love it.
I think I heard somewhere that there's kind of like they observed something like that similar in nature. I can't remember if it was lions or some animal.
It's
where
in all nature, dude.
They'd have like kind of a beta male going in there.
Yeah, a beta male will essentially do whatever he can. Whatever he can to possibly pass on his genetics. Where the alpha type personality, he may not be good at relationships, but he's the most successful at passing on his offspring.
Because you always hear like alpha male is like a person that like leads, and a beta male is somebody that follows. And I kind of want to call myself like omega, where I kind of like I have the characteristics to lead, but I don't really care to lead people.
Mine's essentially similar. And now when shit hits
but
the fan,
I definitely don't want to follow somebody.
No, when the shit hits the fan, I'll take charge. I really will. I don't care. Most of the time, I just don't care. I'm just chilling. But when all hell breaks loose, I'll rise to the occasion. It depends on what subject it is. You can be alpha in certain ways, but and then there's the whole MGTOW movement. We're not going to get into that today. That's a whole podcast with itself. Men going their own way.
Yeah, I kind of...
In a way, I embrace some of their philosophy, but in a lot of it, I do not. I don't need sex bots, and I don't hate women. I just understand how to navigate their nature. And I know hypergamy is the prime directive when dealing with females.
It seems like, because I live in, like, Columbus, and maybe I, like, meeting the wrong people, but I don't really... Like, a lot of the women I kind of interact with there, I don't really want to.
Well, it's like this.
Like, I want to have somebody that has, like morals and values and, like, at least a fairly decent work ethic.
Sounds very conservative.
Not like a fucking... I don't want a stripper. I don't want...
Corey Coe.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to...
Well, it's like this. Alpha fucks, beta bucks. So you can still fuck a girl and be broke.
Well, there's a difference between like fucking a stripper than like
right
people like dating it. Like
absolutely
date.
Absolutely, I agree. That's what I was getting to. I'll fuck all kind of different women as long as they're naturally born women and not pretending to be a woman. Even if they have a very feminine penis, I'm not interested in that. So it's you can fuck. Building relationships, building a life with someone does take money. It does. So that's my issue. I've got so many responsibilities right now.
Then unbuilding a relationship and family takes a lot of money too.
Oh, let's talk about that. Well, I know what it's like I haven't unbuilt the family. I'm still connected to the kids, but the relationships have been disconnected for me.
Yeah.
Yours has as well, but still on paper.
Yeah.
What's holding that up? What's holding your divorce up?
Money, essentially.
What's it cost to get a divorce? You got to file the paperwork, right?
Well, I guess essentially it was like $1,100 or $1,200 to file it.
Jesus.
But Christ. I guess we're like both broke, so she's getting it done under these other circumstances, which won't cost a lot, but I have to wait for certain things to go through.
How long were y'all married?
Like married together? Because we're still technically...
Yeah, married together before you separated.
I believe it was like roughly 6 years.
It's a pretty long time.
Because we were together maybe like a year and a half, then we got married, and then we were together for like another 6 years. And he's like, "Oh, I'm sad, I'm leaving," and like left on Valentine's Day.
Beautiful. How did you meet this woman?
Have you heard about this?
Remember you referencing. I would love to have it on record. You were still a Marine, right?
Yes. So, like, you want to cut this and read?
Yeah, we'll start. Yeah, we'll start with that. This is great. This is good. This is informative.